Hi,
Hello,
who are you?
Bob HOAZOUS.
Bob HOAZOUS, what are you doing here?
It's a tribal, it's supposed to be a ceremony, but it's really a get-together.
And what is it? Where would it be a ceremony for?
It would be a ceremony whenever the mountain spirits come out and dance. It's a serious spiritual reminder of who we are and who we're related to and our responsibilities to each other.
And so you're here, where are we?
In Apache, Oklahoma.
Apache, yeah. And so this is the CHIRICAHUA Apache tribe.
This is the CHIRICAHUA Apache prison camp.
Ah, there we go. Can we talk about that?
This is where we were sent after 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. I'm not sure how long it was, imprisonment in Florida and Alabama. This is where our tribe was sent because it was distant from our homelands and so different that we had no choice but to do what they told us to do. They told us to become Christian, become English speaking, and worship ourselves as we were historically, and not, they took away our elders and let our children speak for us in English, and so we lost everything, almost everything except our genetic memory.
Yeah. So does your work, you're an artist, a sculptor, and an installation artist.
Sometimes.
How does your work address these issues?
Always. I think that I can't claim to be native or indigenous without talking about what I really see around me, and I refuse to focus on the romantic or decorative or historic when we have such incredible problems in our own community.
So how does the art scene take that?
They don't care.
They don't care.
Our own people don't care.
Yeah.
Even this morning we had a man sing a song. It was a wonderful song. But when he got to the religious part, he mumbled the words. And everybody in the tribe should be outraged. We should have a language program that reminds us that the language comes from a philosophical depth that's incredibly meaningful and the basis of our identity. But instead it's just kind of a decorative thing that is based on a romantic self-image. It has nothing to do with transferring knowledge or spirituality or wisdom. It has to do with just identity, a false identity of being Apache. And I was kind of outraged. And then he described a person, the name of the person was supposed to mean dignity and respect or something, and it wasn't her name. Her name was Emok, not the other one, and I don't even know what that means. That's not an Apache name anyway.
It isn't. Okay. And so what do you think needs to happen to kind of reconfigure or reclaim? I'm really into the word reclaim. To reclaim things that are kind of causing dispersion or dissipation, or how do we bring it back together?
The thing that made us so important in this world is our problem solving.
Problem solving.
Yeah, because we lived in the most difficult place in the world, and yet we were strong, healthy, had a self-image, and we knew who we were. And when we were imprisoned, they took away our tribe, our sense of tribe. And most people don't realize that a sense of tribe is not people; it's everything. It's a concept. Michael told me it had to do with a word called Donateke, which is what I'm related to, instead of Shikinde. I think that's the other one. That means my human relations. So the basis of indigenous man all over the world is the relationship to nature. They took that away, and it made us first focus on the family first. I remember that growing up, family first, family first. I even hear it now. And now we've gotten to the Western concept of me. And how do we get back that sense of we? And the only way of doing it is by teaching each other that we've gone through that process, and we're basically Americans with a unique identity, a genetic identity, which means nothing. It's racist. Well, what is the basis of our people? It's a philosophical basis. How do we get it back? By talking about it, by problem solving, But nobody wants the problem solved because all the problems of Western man are set in front of us. How to make money, how to worship money instead of the earth. So it's a very complex problem because there's no money in it. There's no money in talking and thinking honestly.
And is there something like, being that there's no money in it, also being that we've been so poor, you rendered to such a degree of economic kind of being held hostage economically, that money then becomes very important, like exaggerated in its importance. So then we begin are forced to think in terms of monetary value, valuing everything monetarily, because we're starving, or we just don't have enough to do even the basics. So that's kind of forcing us to be in that position of thinking in a different way, which is not really a healthy way to think in terms of being healthy beings. It's like,
yeah, well, I can't think of it like the train that took our tribe away from the homelands. Yeah, they threw us on it and locked the doors. And our elders were all in that train, and they had no choice. Okay, well, that train is still moving toward assimilation, but we're on it willingly. And we're trying to buy first-class seats by making money. But the nature that is us, that makes us Apache, is there whether you're rich or poor. It's how you relate, how you relate to spiritual issues, how you relate to yourself in relation to your family, your tribe, the earth. Those things are always there. I don't care how rich or poor you are. So money was never an issue. Money is their issue that they gave to us. We have to push it aside and run the tribe as real sovereign people based on Apache philosophical concepts. Then all of a sudden we're going to see that they don't count. Their money doesn't count. What counts is the intelligence and the wisdom and the problem solving of our children. Far more important than whether I have a Hummer.
Yeah.